my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name's Vanessa Somuayina and I'd like to welcome you into the fam. So guys, in today's Pick a Card Tarot readings, we're going to be discussing what's coming towards you during the month of January. We're going to be talking about this first month of the year 2023 in great detail. We'll be discussing your love life, your career, your finances. There will not be anything left unsaid. And if you loved your reading and you would like a prediction for the entire year of 2023, I have already created and uploaded each zodiac sign's 2023 horoscope to my channel, and I'll leave the link to that video below in the description box as well. But now let's talk all things January. I'll now introduce you to the 4 groups and different crystals that I have prepared for you, and then I'll give you a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on the 4 groups before we get into your readings. Group number 1 corresponds to the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck as well as the Rose Quartz Crystal Sphere. Group number 2 corresponds to the Deviant Moon Tarot as well as the Howlite Crystal. Group number 3 corresponds to the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck as well as the Malachite Crystal. And group number 4 corresponds to the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck as well as the Aqua Aura Crystal Point. But I will leave the timestamps to all of these groups below in the description box and pinned to the top of the comment section, as well as the links to the Malachite as well as the Aqua Aura Crystal Point, as these 2 crystals are currently available in my online store, bowlife.com. Don't say I didn't tell you, because all of the crystals that I use within my readings always sell out so quickly. So the links to those will be in the description box, but now I will give you a little moment of privacy so you can pause the video right here. You can meditate on the 4 groups in order for you to receive your January tarot card reading. So I'll be right back with you. So by now, you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups to help guide you through your month of January. I will be starting off your tarot card readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck and the Rose Quartz Crystal Sphere. So if this is the group that you chose, then please simply continue watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups and crystals, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. You chose the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck and the Rose Quartz Crystal Point. I can't wait to just vibe with you. Make sure you are really feeling relaxed right now, that you're leaning back, you've got a beverage of your choice, you're inhaling deeply into your belly, giving yourself that sweet oxygen so you can really enjoy your January prediction. Now, you may have intuitively felt drawn to the stone because you loved its outer appearance, but maybe you just also felt the vibes coming from the rose quartz being so loving and so friendship oriented. But now let's move into figuring out precisely what's coming towards you during the month of January. So first up, we've got life force energy. So I see that for you during the month of January, you will definitely feel recharged. You will feel like you have more life force energy, which is also known as prana, and you will feel as though you're ready for the year 2023. You're ready to finally be able to start on a fresh slate and also just accomplish some new heights when it comes to your career and also your personal life. I see here within life force energy in January that this is an excellent month for you. This is a month of 2023 where you will get a lot more done than expected, and you feel a lot more connected, not only to the people around you, but also to Mother Earth. I see here within Shine Your Light that during the month of January, you will find it easy to stand out and be authentic. You will find it a lot simpler to shine your light without worrying that you are ruffling someone else's feathers or making someone feel uncomfortable, because we've also got the master number 44 here. And in numerological terms, the master number 44 is a number of stability. It is a number of a solid foundation that's been built, as well as abundance. Because the number 4, just like the 4 seasons or the 4 different directions that we've got, it shows stability. It shows a well-rounded kind of cycle. And when we add 4 and 4 together, we receive the number 8, which in numerological terms is a number of abundance. It's a very lucky number. It's a number of prosperity. So Shine Your Light is a very, very favorable foreshadowing of the month of January for you, group number 1. So I definitely see here that we're starting off January strong. You're probably going to wear your favorite clothes. You're going to wear things that make you feel comfortable. And now we also have Cancer that popped right into the pile, which corresponds to the number 4. So we've got 44, life force energy corresponds to 34, and now Cancer corresponds to the number 4. So January is making you feel very stable. In case you didn't know, the zodiac sign of Cancer is the sign of your home life and your family, so that's going to be stable. You're most likely also going to feel like your situation in your home is stable financially, like you can pay rent or mortgage without overthinking it. And I definitely see here within Cancer that you're also really immersed in family matters and your relationships. This is a zodiac sign that is pretty emotional, that is very sensitive, which is ruled by the moon, and it's very nurturing. And that's exactly what I can see that you value in January. You value the people who nurture you, who pour into the relationship that you have, and those are the people with whom you're going to spend the most time with. So it's no surprise that you also chose the rose quartz crystal, because it is also representative of those deep relationships where, emotionally speaking, you're very invested and you feel loved and taken care of by the people with whom you're spending all this extra time with. Now within Vesta, I can definitely see that there's something cooking up during the month of January that's possibly also pretty unexpected, and I want to figure out exactly what that is. Let's go into great detail, because I see that this is definitely going to bring out ambition, more energy out of you than you expected or than you had throughout the year 2022. So next up, we've got this empty room. So I do see here within the empty room for you, group number 1, that what's happening is you are spending a lot of time figuring out how you want to plan your life. The empty room here shows me that you're doing so by yourself, and overall just not having other people tell you what to do or influence your decision making is definitely something that's lighting a little fire under your butt, if you will, because you don't have anyone telling you that you're dreaming too big. That's one thing that I see here in connectivity to life force energy and Vesta, right? You are ready to put in all of your energy, time, and effort into your dreams in January and beyond in the year 2023. And the less time you spend with people who are always kind of telling you that you should be realistic or not dream too big, the more likely you are to accomplish unusual things. Because in order to be able to do that, you of course cannot be surrounding yourself with people who are dragging you down, or people who are telling you that you should be realistic or you should just not expect too much out of yourself or life. I see here within the riddle that there is tons to uncover during the month of January. There are some secrets that you didn't expect to come to life, and these secrets have to do with family members. I see that in connectivity to Cancer, people very, very close to you. And I want to figure out exactly what these secrets may be. Let's add some runes into the mix, shall we? Okay, so I will just intuitively grab a rune. We've got, I believe here, let's zoom in on this. I believe here within this rune that we've actually got Gabo for you. So Gabo is a rune of marriage, partnership, and generosity. I see here that there will be an announcement within your family and close circle of people getting married, of people wanting to tie the knot. So you will be invited to a wedding. You will be invited to like an engagement party. That's one thing that I see here in the riddle. If you are currently in a relationship with someone and you have been hoping to get married to this person, group number 1, know here within the riddle that this is a month of proposals. This is a month of people saying, hey, you know what? I really do want to tie the knot. I really do love you, and I want to be with you for the rest of my life. There are confessions that will be made here when it comes to love and marriage and partnership, moving in together. You understand the type of topics that are going to be uncovered here. Let's move further into your reading with more runes. I want to see here within the empty room where you're building by yourself, what area of life this is. Oh, okay, so we have another rune that popped out of the pile. So this rune corresponds to Nautis. Now, Nautis is very, very similar to Gabo, actually. It's, yeah, telling these apart is not the easiest thing, but you get used to it, group number one. So here with the Nautis, we've got this need, we've got necessity, we've got certain delays. So I see that there are things that were delayed in the year 2022 that you are addressing now in 2023, right from the month of January. You're not waiting. So this may have had to do with some sort of New Year's resolution or some goals that you set for yourself for 2023. But I see here with the Nautis that there were certain projects that were delayed, certain things that you kept putting off in your personal life. It could have been working out. It could have been pushing yourself to the limit when it came to your career. And I see here in the empty room as well as Nautis that now you just have the need to stop causing this type of hardship in your life and on yourself. You want to address these issues, you want to fix them, and if these things are affecting you financially because you're not putting as much effort and love into your career as you could, you want to get out of financial hardship as well, and you're actually taking action right in January when it comes to that. The month of January is all about growth, and to you it's important for that growth to last for longer than January. You're not about those fickle New Year's resolutions that only last for a couple weeks or like the month of January. I see here that growth and sustainability is really important to you, group number one. And you've made New Year's resolutions, you've had goals, but you understand that in order for there to be long-term growth that doesn't wilt away to nothing and that doesn't get lost, you of course need to have some sort of habit, some sort of plan, some sort of way of tracking your growth as well. Next up, we've got the Prince of Summer, also known as this Frog Prince. So the Prince of Summer is someone who's very romantic, flirtatious, enchanting, introspective. I see here that a deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet in January. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. So there is definitely some interest in you romantically speaking. If you are in a relationship, ask yourself if you really want to play with fire like this. And if you're single, make sure that this person is someone you would be with without the glitz and the glam. The Prince of Summer can show up as very pompous, as someone who is grander than life, and they may have really nice clothes, a really amazing job, just overall be a good, smooth talker. But if you think about what it would be like to be around them if they were just regular, if they didn't have these material things to show off with, and you're not as into them, then you know that the Prince of Summer is maybe just a fling, maybe just someone that you like, but you don't necessarily love them the way they love you. Next up, we've got the Two of Autumn. So it's all about this balancing act, right? It's all about figuring out how much time you want to potentially invest in a relationship that may not last for a lifetime, or where you may have to learn to love the person. Because in the Abyssinian Cat, we've got this message of you being a little under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for just one person to manage. So it's important to balance your work and your personal life and bring a spirit of fun to everything that you do. Do the same with your romantic life. There could be this love triangle situation that I see here in connectivity to the Prince of Summer. So having a love triangle between you and two other people may make you feel like, okay, I have to choose, but I don't know who's best for me. And then you still have a lot going on at work. You've got a lot of goals that you want to accomplish, which can be pretty stressful. When it comes to the letters in this person's name, we've got the letter M, as well as S for their initials here within the Prince of Summer. And remind yourself that the Prince of Summer may just be another frog that you need to kiss before you find your prince. So this romantic situation in January is fun. It is definitely also a little bit distracting, but nevertheless, it's going to give you some nice balance when it comes to your work and your personal life, because January won't just all be work. So let's move a little further into your reading, shall we? Group number 1. And next up, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So January is a great month for you to start a fresh business venture or to start investing in something that you haven't invested in before. Okay, so putting your money into, for example, a stocks portfolio that you've researched, maybe placing money into a savings account where you've got some good interest, maybe even purchasing a home or thinking of purchasing a rental here in the Ace of Pentacles, starting a new business as in a blog, a YouTube channel. You get the idea. If you're into tarot, for example, and you want to learn how to become an amazing tarot reader, I also have a course on that, a masterclass on my website. I'll leave it linked in the description box. So you're kind of learning about different business ventures that you may want to do, and you're investing in your future. Because of course, whenever you want to create a business or you want to invest in something that should yield return, there has to be that initial investment, right? You either need to learn the skill or invest in the property and the stock in order for there to be any return. There is a little bit of a risk. And here again, with the Hermit, I see that you're taking very calculated risks, and you're spending a lot of time just by yourself in solitude in order to reflect on what you think would work best for you, and also to determine what you think you can do in the long term. If you, for example, really do not like to be in front of the camera, if you really do not love to edit, being a YouTuber may not be for you. Maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to become a writer, or you want to create blogs. That is where this introspection is really helpful, because it is actually teaching you about what to do next and where you would best fit in. Now, the Princess of Pentacles shows me that for the month of January, all of these new things are leaving you feeling almost like you're a little kid, like you've got that childlike wonderment. You're learning lots of new skills that you've never tried on before. And also in your career, you're being put on a lot of different projects and tasks that you've never completed before. So this will be a new experience for you. This is going to be a huge learning curve, and the Princess of Pentacles shows that it's going to be fun for you. It's definitely something that you're looking forward to. So we've got a couple cards that pop themselves on the other side. We've got the Magician, the Seven of Cups, as well as the Chariot. Let's just make sure we're all crisp here in the viewfinder. So first off, with the Magician, you're definitely taking the lead in January, and you're using all of your natural advantages to do the best that you can in your job and your career and with your business ventures. As we spoke about earlier, you've got a lot of different options, romantically speaking, and the Seven of Cups shows this, okay? It's like you've got, we said 2 options. The Seven of Cups obviously shows 7 different options. So there are a lot of people who you can choose to be with, romantically speaking. And I see here within the Chariot that there is this need for you to kind of hurry up and be in a committed situation already. So maybe your biological clock is ticking, or you want to relocate, purchase a home, and you would like to do it with someone else, and you just want to kind of settle down. I definitely see that in January you feel this urge to take the next step in your personal life and with romantic relationships. So this is why it's very important for you to not stress yourself out too much and to not rush into something with the wrong person, because making as big of a choice as choosing a life partner, that will affect you for years and decades, maybe your entire life. So you got to make sure that you're choosing someone who you feel inspired by, who you truly love, who you think is funny, who you think is inspirational, and who just overall really, really vibes with you. Let's see what we've got next for you. So here we've got the descending lunar node, and what this means astrologically speaking is that we've got the point at which the path of the moon intersects with the sun's path, and when moving in a southerly direction, and the south node is also known as Ketu. So I definitely see that for January for you, group number 1, there are a lot of changes that are coming when it comes to your life force, when it comes to how much energy you want to put into the relationships and growing those. And we also have here the symbol of Pisces for you. So here within the Prince of Summer, we may have a Pisces person who is interesting to you, but who you really need to check out. Because you want to make sure that you pick the right person to be with and that you don't feel like you have to rush through the month of January making huge life choices and huge decisions about who to be with in a relationship long term. Take your time, group number 1. That's the main message that I'm getting from your guides in regards to the month of January. And of course, continue on with the strong life force energy of pushing forward and of trying to find that work-life balance that you deserve. Now, group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you. If you made it all the way to the end and you enjoyed it, make sure that you leave a little frog prince emoji below in the comment section. So a frog as well as a crown. That way you can let me and others know that you belong to group 1 and you found your January predictions insightful. Thank you so much for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your January prediction. You chose the Deviant Moon Tarot in connectivity to the Howlite Crystal Point. This is the gorgeous Howlite Crystal Point. You may have chosen this crystal because of its beautiful marble-esque appearance. That's why I absolutely love it. But in case you didn't know, energetically speaking, this crystal has a very calming and grounding effect, which is great for fire signs or anyone who struggles with anxiety and overthinking. Now, let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what's coming towards you during the month of January, shall we? So first up, we've got the 10 of Wands. You are done of carrying everyone else's responsibility with you, and you're putting it down. January is the end of people pleasing. It is the end of you taking on tasks and jobs that weren't yours to deal with to begin with. If you've got a coworker that always gives you tasks that they should actually be dealing with, and they always have an excuse as to why they don't have enough time to do it, you're not going to help them out in this way anymore. They need to start sorting their stuff out themselves. If you've got a family member that constantly needs you to babysit for them, you're telling them that you do not have time for this, group number 2. Whatever the situation is where people are putting some heavy responsibility onto your shoulder, you are shaking off those responsibilities, group number 2, and you're focused on yourself, because you understand when you always give everyone the best of you, you've only got what's left of you, and you deserve more. And that's where I can see here in the Hanged Man that during the month of January, you're actually going to spend a lot of time just observing how people react when you say no, when you no longer people please, because that will tell you so much about the individual person and also what their real motives are in your life and with you as a friend. Because the only people who get mad when you set boundaries are the people who benefit from the lack of boundaries. So when people show you their true colors when it comes to how they feel about you setting boundaries, that is when you really know who you want to keep in your life and who is only here because it serves them. Next up, we've got the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is symbolic of spending a lot of time by yourself, and the Deviant Moon Tarot is very artsy and expressive in this way of definitely showing a lot of emotion in all of the depictions. And that's where you can see here within the Hermit that this alone time will have you realizing things that you didn't know prior to January, and it will definitely make you feel as though your real friend circle is small, but at least you know that the people who you're choosing to spend time with are the real ones, and the people who you're letting letting go of, you're wishing that you actually would have let go of them sooner. That's one thing that I see here within the Hermit. But let's move further into your prediction, group number 2. So next up, we've got the Queen. I see that during the month of January, you're definitely being treated like a queen with a lot of passion by someone. So there's someone who looks at you as an empress, a queen. Maybe you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a partner who wants to start a family with you, who wants to be with you forever, if possible, for decades or forever. And I see here within the Queen that this is a relationship that is definitely going to blossom during the month of January, and where you will feel like you're really taken care of. Like this person is putting a lot of effort to show you that they care and to show you that they truly want to be with you in the long term. I see within the Castle that they're going to protect your relationship at all costs and not allow for anyone new to come into the relationship. So infidelity is not a topic in January at all. You are the focal point of someone else's life who is treating you like an absolute queen or king. And know here within the Castle that the more selective you are with who you allow into your personal space, and so to say into your castle, the better. The more protected you will be emotionally speaking, and the more you will find that your mental health and well-being can thrive because you don't have any snakes or any fake friends around you. In apocalypses, know that January is going to be wildly different from December of 2022. January of 2023 is going to come with a lot of new beginnings, with a lot of fresh starts, not just because it's the next start of the year, but within apocalypses, I can definitely see that there are maybe a lot of businesses surrounding you that are breaking down too. The stock market crashing, the economy going down, overall a lot of situations that are struggling where people will have to build from the ground up, or where people will have to hit rock bottom. And I see here in connectivity to the Hermit and the Ten of Wands that this is putting a lot of pressure on you to perform, because of course you want to ensure that you stay afloat. But you know here within the Hermit that overthinking isn't going to serve you, and that talent is one thing, okay? And talking a big game, those are all very specific ways of trying to be successful, but discipline and hard work beats talent and talking and confidence any day. And that's where I see here within apocalypses that you don't have anything to fear. The comic shows me that January is actually going to have a lot of really weird puns, a lot of really weird situations that are actually funny. So perhaps you joke about how you wouldn't be sad if your boss were to never come back to work again, and then the next day they quit and they literally never show up again. Or you joking about the fact that it would be so picture perfect to meet someone in a grocery store and then spend the rest of your life with them, and you literally meet the one in the grocery store a couple days later. So that's where I see here within the comic that there are things you see as jokes and you're not taking them as seriously, but then they happen shortly thereafter. Let's see how long after you will need to wait in order to see how the universe is playing this fun little joke on you or with you. So we've got the number 3. So the magic number that we've got here is 3 when it comes to the comic. So know that 3 days after making some sort of remark, some sort of thing that seemed to be a joke, 3 days thereafter, it will actually manifest into reality. I see here within the underworld that the month of January also brings back a lot from your past, a lot of past experiences, a lot of memories from your past. The underworld here shows me that being triggered by your past is something that you've dealt with, is something that isn't new to you. I want to see what events are coming up precisely. Okay, we've got events from 6 years ago. So however old that you are now, group number 2, subtract 6 years from that and know that memories from that year within your life are going to continuously be coming up. So for me, I'm 26 currently. If I subtract the number 6, we receive 20. So having a lot of flashbacks of the years of me being in my 20s, quite literally speaking. This is something I'm already experiencing, so I wouldn't be surprised if it carries through to the month of January. And for you, group number 2, I can definitely see that this is something that you're going through, where you're constantly having these memories come back up to teach you something, and maybe also to just show you and demonstrate to you how far you've come. Next up, we've got surrender for you. So the month of January is a month in which there is going to be this sense of just surrendering to what you've been through, not overthinking it, and not making anyone else liable or responsible for things. If you are currently in a lawsuit, for example, I want you to know that the other party will surrender as long as you stay within your position and stay within your rights. And I see here within anxiety that one thing that you may be dealing with, that we already kind of spoke about with the Howlite, is this anxiety that you're trying to learn how to control. As mentioned at the start of your reading, the Howlite is great for anyone who suffers from anxiety, and your guides are confirming this group number 2, that this is the right group for you, that all of my little anxiety babies are right here. And January is a month of learning to control that through love, through loving yourself more, giving yourself more chances, group number 2, and not feeling as though you've got to be perfect. Also, maybe quite literally love, okay? Being with someone who shows you so much love and care that you find it easier to extend that to yourself and to ease up the anxiety. I mean, whenever you are in love, group number 2, it's a lot easier to feel at peace and at ease and relaxed when you've met the right person who gives your soul a place to rest, who gives your body time to rest outside of fight or flight mode and to actually simply enjoy the moment. I see here within the violet flame for you, group number 2, that there's definitely a lot of this future planning. So being with someone who you love, someone who means a lot to you, is going to have you thinking about the futures and planning kids, planning to live together, planning to purchase a home with each other, maybe even moving abroad. I definitely see a lot of dreaming here within the violet flame, and you creating that dream life internally, hoping that it will transpire externally as well. I see here within the journey to wholeness for you, group number 2, that the month of January has everything to do with moving from a place of feeling fragmented to reminding yourself how whole, important, and worthy that you are. And furthermore, group number 2, the journey to wholeness corresponds to the master number 33. And the master number 33 is actually a number of collaboration. It is a number of working with other people. And having love and surrender show up in your reading could be this indication that you're with the one. You're surrendering to feelings of love, and they are making you feel so whole, so beautiful, so worthy that you can't help but simply just love yourself more as a result of being around people who love you a lot, group number 2. So the month of January has some really positive impacts when it comes to how you see yourself and when it comes to how you treat yourself on a self-love type of level. Now, the Nine of Cups is actually one of the most favorable cards of the tarot. It is also known as the Wish card. You guys, if you want to learn about this stuff, I do have a How to Become a Great Tarot Reader course on my website. So check that out if you've always wanted to learn about tarot and maybe even create your own tarot channel or your own tarot Instagram page. Either way, here within the Nine of Cups, know that a wish will be granted to you in January that you didn't expect. So a manifestation that comes true, and just overall that makes you feel as though, yes, the time, energy, and effort that you're putting into manifestations is worth it and is actually coming to fruition. Now, the Seven of Wands shows me that there are a lot of people in January at your job who see you as competition and who see you as someone to look out for, okay? They feel as though you may take their place Some people are very insecure around you in January, group number 2. And I want you to know that the best way to kind of lighten the mood and to make people feel at ease is, of course, through humor, like we have here within the comic. But there are also some people who will just always feel threatened by you, and it is time for you to just let them feel threatened by you, group number 2, because you cannot stop your grind, your goals, or your aspirations to make somebody else feel comfortable. That is what we're not doing, not in January, not ever, group number 2. So know here within the Seven of Wands that it's not your responsibility once you've tried once with humor to still keep going in to make someone who is insecure feel more comfortable around you. They need to learn to deal with their emotions themselves. They cannot make you responsible for the fact that they are feeling insecure. Now, group 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cleanse the space and come back, because I definitely sense that we are not done with your January prediction, group number 2. You are meant to receive a longer reading. You're meant to receive more messages, and I want to help you uncover what those messages are. So just give me a little moment to clear and cleanse the space. Feel free to leave a little red heart emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you are here, and I'll be right back with you to delve further into your January reading. Hello, group number 2. Welcome back. Did you miss me? Now let's figure out the remaining messages for your January 2023 tarot card reading. All right, Spirit, what does group number 2 still need to know about the month of January? So we've got the Prince of Spring, which corresponds to the dolphin. The Prince of Spring brings an opportunity that arises and needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important in January, yet there's nothing you can't handle if you follow your inner guidance. So in January, you will be asked to move very quickly. When it comes to opportunities and chances that you can take in your career, but also within your personal life, and it's important that you don't wait long to make decisions and to take action. You have to take action right away. Also, bear in mind that often procrastination happens when you don't take action right away. When you wait for too long for the situation to change, that is often when you actually miss out on opportunities. So remind yourself that in order to combat procrastination, take action immediately without any excuses. Next up, we've got the Princess of Autumn. Now, the Princess of Autumn is a very cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous individual. It is represented by the tabby cat, and it represents a wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or scholarship that's coming your way in January. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or start a more rewarding and uplifting career in January. These are the messages that you're meant to receive, so taking action very quickly, not overthinking it, and going with the flow, going with opportunities that are being presented to you and being thrown your way. We've also got the Seven of Autumn here, which represents the cow. Now, the Seven of Autumn is all about the planning, resources, and efforts that you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. So whatever it is that you put effort into, you just need to give it a little bit of time in order to reap those rewards. And in January, make sure that you meditate on the next steps, that you continue to plant more seeds from which crops can grow, that you can use and that you can benefit from further down the line. Now, the Six of Spring is represented by the rescue dog. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve all the attention. So this goes together beautifully with the Princess of Autumn. This promotion or scholarship is really something that's coming your way in January, undoubtedly so, group number 2. And you are meant to still hear this and to receive this within your prediction. It is very clear that in the earlier part of your reading, we didn't quite have the information laid out so clearly, and your guides still had this information to give to you, this information to present you with for the month of January, so you know what to expect and you can already get excited for all that's coming towards you. We've also got the furred and feathered friends. So for the month of January, I definitely see that animals will have some sort of impact on your life. If you have a pet cat, a pet dog, any other furry, feathered, or scaled animal, know here that in the month of January they will provide you with a lot of support. And if right now you don't have an animal by your side, you may adopt one or foster one in January. There will be some sort of special connection to an animal during the month of January that will help you to find more confidence and that will guide you through this time of this promotion, of this scholarship, of you receiving special recognition and you receiving amazing attention. I see here within the journey to wholeness and the master number 33 that you will be collaborating with a lot of other interesting people, and you will receive recognition from people who you look up to, and they may want to work with you. So for example, earlier in 2022, Google reached out to me to do this amazing tarot project in LA. They flew me out. That recognition and working with such talented, amazing people who I look up to, that was part of my journey to wholeness. And I see an amazing opportunity such as the one that I experienced coming your way during the month of January and showing you that all of the work that you've put in has really been worth it, and people are seeing it and people are taking it seriously. People now want to give you your time to shine and to give you the attention that you deserve in January. In the She of the Lotus, I see for you that January also brings a lot of this healing energy where you feel as though you can overcome some past traumas finally for good, and you can forgive people who have hurt or harmed you. Now, the She of the Lotus also shows me that you are opening up to new ideas and new ways of living. So in the past, maybe you judged people who led a plant-based diet. Maybe you judged people who meditated, who practiced yoga. Maybe you judged people who did the opposite of all of those things. And I see here within the She of the Lotus that you're becoming more accepting and loving of people in general and everyone's journey, because we're all in different places on our journeys. Some of us are further ahead. Some of us are just in a completely different area code than you're in. And acceptance is one of the most generous gifts that you can not only give to those around you, but also yourself, because then other people's actions don't bother you so much anymore. Next up, we've got magic. Now, the month of January definitely brings magic to all of my beautiful souls of group number 2. Magic in the sense of not necessarily knowing what to expect, but somehow everything turning out more favorably than you expected. That's what I see in magic. Mystery also shows me that you're not quite sure how this promotion or scholarship actually transpired, how it came to be, but it's okay. We're accepting it. We're taking it on board. We're moving forward with it. And we are just happy that this is happening to us here during the month of January. Whether there's an explanation or not, you're literally just happy to be in this fortunate situation, and you want to continue enjoying it. You want to continue on with it. Next up, we've got the One. Now, group 2, in the One, I can see that January will bring to light a very special person in your life who up until this time you didn't know that they were the one. You didn't know that this person existed. That's what I see here in Mystery. They will be uncovered, this person who is the one, and you will finally know precisely who they are. I see here that when it comes to their zodiac sign, we've got strong Gemini energy, which is an air sign. Now, let's figure out more of the placement. Okay, here Within this placement, we've actually got Jupiter. So they've got strong Gemini energy within Jupiter. That's one thing that I can see. They are someone who is very educated, super communicative, and the person who is the one for you is a very, very funny person. Let's see on what days you're most likely to meet them. Okay, we've got the 1st as well as the 9th for you, group number 2. Okay, so here we go, group number 2. So we've got the number 1 as well as 9. That's very important when it comes to the 1, and you also know about the placements. Let's move a little further into your reading. We've got the cave. So January is going to take you away from a lot of harm that other people may be experiencing. Okay, so staying at home will serve you because a lot of people are out here getting colds, flus, things like that. And I do see here within the cave that the more you stay within your little circle, the safer you will be. So try to not spend too much time partying, too much time out and about. As I see here within the creator, that you're also able to meet your creator in private and in silence. So be that the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in. You know my channel is an open space. Group 2 in the creator, I see that you are connecting with source, but also you are becoming the creator. You're becoming the creator of beautiful art, of beautiful creations that will be made in January by you. And the more you're kind of in your cave, in your little safe zone, in your atelier, in the space where you can just make things from the heart, the better these creations will be. And I see in the offering that in January, you will definitely be offered some sort of compensation for your art monetarily. So as a creative, finding a way to make money off of what you love doing is definitely a dream for a lot of creatives. And I see in January that this is most probable to come true for you, but also in the offering and in the 1, I want you to understand that the 1 will offer to meet up, to spend time with you. They will offer communication that makes it very clear that they are into you, that they desire you, and that they want a future with you. That's what I see here within the 1 and the offering. Now, group number 2, we are at the end of your January prediction for real this time. I can feel it. I can sense it. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it insightful. Leave a little crescent moon emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and that you enjoyed your January pick a card prediction. I'm sending you so much love, group number 2. Of course, don't forget to check out my tarot reader course and bowlife.com if you're looking for crystals, crystal jewelry like what I'm wearing, and tarot cards. And I cannot wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, all my beautiful souls. Within group number 3, you chose the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck as well as the stunning Malachite crystal. Let's do a close-up on this gorgeous palm stone. It's called palm stone because, well, it fits perfectly in your palm. I'll leave the link to these beautiful, high-quality malachite palm stones in the description box because I do have them on my website, Bowlife. But you guys know they always sell out so quickly when I display them in any of my videos. So grab your crystal while you can. These are ethically sourced. They're all hand-polished. And, of course, you can pass them down to your kids. These are high-quality crystals. They will last forever, and you can put them all over your altar as well, of course. But let's move into your January predictions, shall we? Let's see what's coming towards you. So first up, we've got the ritual as well as the cauldron. So I can definitely see that for January, we've got some concentration of energy that's happening. So it's like this containment of energy in a specific project that you're putting into something you're very passionate about. And I see here with the ritual and invocation that you, as well as other people, 3 other people, are going to be working on a project together. So I do want you to know that this could be a work project, this could be a school project. Maybe you're also working with some family members on building a business, or for example, doing something with real estate, stocks. It's just an energetic exchange of ideas, but then at the same time, everyone has like a job that they're all pouring into the same pot and they're focusing on one common goal. That's one thing that I can see for you in January. So you are working towards a goal with other people, and I see here that containment is important. That's where you're pouring your energy into in January, nowhere else. You've got some big plans and you want to make them come true for the year 2023. And I see here within the Magic Oracle that you're protected during the month of January. So if you've been afraid of something happening, say a car accident, say something happening to you financially, group number 3. Okay, so this was actually the Magic Circle, not the Magic Oracle. I misread that, but same, group number 3, really. The Magic Circle or Magic Oracle, however we'd like to call it now, is all about protection and also finding the answers that you need within your magic circle. So you don't have to step over these boundaries, these healthy boundaries, in order to find answers in January. You can really stay within limitations that are comfortable. I know, what a change, right, group number 3, and find all of the next action steps right there. Often people, or more frequently than not, people tell you to break through your personal boundaries, but I definitely see here that in January your boundaries are actually protecting you, not just physically, but also energetically, protecting you from meeting people who are just going to slow you down, or who are the type of people who like to break down other people's boundaries, okay? There are literally people out here that do this just for fun, just for sport. They want to test your boundaries, they want to break them down, even if they don't want to do anything with it. Like, for example, if someone asks you to come out last minute and you tell them, no, I'm kind of really tired, I don't want to, and they keep kind of trying to break down that boundary. They want you to give in. They want to see how far they can take it. And they may still cancel on you even after you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to come out. They may say, oh, you know what, it's fine. But they had that satisfaction of knowing that they can bend your boundary or break your boundary. And that's why you're being called in January to hold really firm to your standards and your boundaries, to not give those people the satisfaction of feeling like they have power over you, and to not give yourself that feeling of disappointment that you have when you know you don't want to do something, but you do it for someone anyways. I see here within Earth that it's important that you honor your energy and your boundaries just as much as you honor other people's. If you're too tired, you're just too tired. It has nothing to do with being selfish or being a bad person. You have to nurture yourself, and Earth is all about nurturing nature as well. So the more that you nurture yourself, the more you nurture nature, because you are a part of nature, but also nurturing nature quite literally, group number 3, as in going out, planting seeds. Maybe you're putting out bird food because where you live it's very cold, and that way you can nurture nature, you can nurture the birds that are having a hard time finding food. Maybe nurturing nature for you is also spending more time in nature, going on walks, going on hikes, on jogs, whatever it is that you can do in order to kind of become a part of nature and actively make this something that you're passionate about. Next up, we've got the Portal Keeper. So I can see for January that you've almost got like a bit of a gatekeeper in front of the portals to ascension that you maybe are accessing for the first time. Maybe you've accessed this many times. And by portal to ascension, I mean in meditation, feeling as though you're floating. Maybe you also have this kind of portal of ascension where you have very specific dreams, but it's hard for you in January to access this kind of place of levitation, this place of floating, this place of having these very specific dreams. As I see here within the Portal Keeper, that there is some sort of spirit animal, maybe it's quite literally a cat type of figurine, a sphinx type of figure that is here, that is showing up as a symbol, and that's stopping you from going through those portals because you are being protected. I see here within the magic circle as well as the ritual that in January you are being kind of brought to a very earthly place, to a very grounded place, because it's just not the time for you to be doing crazy things spiritually speaking. I see here within freedom that January is actually about understanding what freedom really is right now in the moment. So not searching freedom by escaping your reality and being in an alternate reality, but finding freedom in your current situation, in your current reality, group number 3. And freedom is something that you may access at any given point. I think a lot of us make it this end goal, right? To be free physically, emotionally, with our health, financially. I see within freedom that you're being called to realize in January, hey, I can be free at any moment in time, because sometimes our mind is what puts constraints and shackles on us. If you're saying to yourself, well, I'll be free once I don't have to worry about my finances, well, you may be waiting for many, many years. And so what? In the meantime, you're not going to consider yourself free? You're not going to consider yourself as a human being who can make their own decisions and live freely, at least to some extent? You wouldn't want to miss out on that emotion just because we're putting a very, very specific rule on what it means to be free. And I see in January that you're kind of redefining that for yourself, and you're starting off the year living more freely than you've lived before, because it's just time. You need this, group number 3. You cannot continue to tell yourself, I'll be happy once I've done this, or I'll feel free once I've accomplished this. That's not what we're doing anymore from the month of January. I see in the 8 of Wands that you understand if you want to progress, you can't hold yourself back in that type of way, because progress is not just moving forward with work or school or finding a lover or starting a family. It's also how you feel. It's also about understanding here that the more you feel like you can live every single moment, the more progress you will make, because the more creative juices are flowing as well. When I feel really free to create and to do things, it's so much easier for me to make fabulous content, to create beautiful tarot decks, to source beautiful crystals, to create crystal jewelry. You guys, when I feel free, regardless of what's going on in my personal life, in my bank account, I can accomplish so much more that's going to make all of these other areas of my life where maybe there are rocks, maybe there are challenges at any given point. It's going to make all of those challenges disintegrate. As long as I remind myself that there will always be a challenge in some area of life. Life is always filled with some sort of distraction or problem, but that doesn't mean that I can't freely explore my creativity, myself, and my existence in this earthly realm. Next up, we've got the 8 of Pentacles. So you're definitely constantly working during the month of January. This is a month of hard work, of putting your head down. You're not really super concerned with other people whatsoever. You're very focused on yourself, self-development, reading self-development books, and also talking to other people who are into the same thing. That's what I see with the 8 of Pentacles and the ritual. You're not going to be around anyone who isn't driven or who isn't motivated. That's just not for you, group number 3. And I see in the 8 of Pentacles that you're really building from the ground up, and you're not getting any handouts. You simply do not want any handouts either. You're working hard on accomplishing your goals and getting there bit by bit, even if it takes blood, sweat, and tears. But I see in the 9 of Pentacles that there are many rewards that you will already reap in January, financially speaking and health-wise as well. So if you've had a good amount of downtime during the Christmas and holiday period, during the New Year's Eve kind of time, I see here with the 9 of Pentacles that actually what that's going to do is it's going to help you rejuvenate. If you've had any health problems, you may see that the symptoms feel a little milder, a little bit more manageable. And the 9 of Pentacles also shows that there will be some results financially that you can now enjoy. Okay, some fruit of your labor that's ripe for picking, and it's important that you pick it in the right moment, because there is such a thing as fruit being overripe, being on the fruit tree, for example, for too long and then spoiling. So you've got to pick it, you've got to enjoy it, you've got to either use it as fuel and energy for the next project, or just enjoy it as in eat it and live your best life. Okay, so do that with your money, do that with the things that you have put a lot of effort into. Take it, enjoy it, spend it, invest it, just do something with it. I see here within the Ace of Cups, this is actually often a symbol of a new romantic relationship beginning. So if you are single, group number 3, this may be that sign for you, that there's someone coming into your life, romantically speaking, who is very interesting, who you might end up with, and who may just be like this next lover. Let's see what kind of sign we're talking about. We've got Libra here for you, which, in case you didn't know, Libra is an air sign, very charming and witty type of air sign. Also, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Libra is also a sign that's a cardinal sign. They are leaders, they are dynamic, they're initiators, they're very action-oriented and assertive. So if you like all that, this Ace of Cups person is definitely for you. All right, so here we've got Pluto, the Plutoid, which is all about finances, transformation. So I do see here for the Ace of Cups that this person is very action-oriented when it comes to finances, when it comes to the future, and they're not afraid to completely change however they were taught to make money as a kid. When it comes to their letters within their name, we've got the letter M as well as the letter O, group number 3. So let's move further into your reading though, right? We're still just at the beginning. We're still figuring out more about January for you. So next up, we've got the womb. So if you are someone who's has a womb, group number 3, I definitely see here that your womb is in great shape. It's maybe even feeling a little more active than usual, whatever that may mean. Group number 3, maybe you're seeing someone in your life who kind of gets to, you know, get pretty close to that place in your body, but maybe you also feel a lot better about it just because your cycle feels more regular, it feels calmer, kinder, and like there's less pain during specific times of the month. Next up, we've got Aletheia. So within Aletheia, I can see that this Ace of Cups person with this Libra energy is someone who's like the yin to your yang, or the yang to your yin, however you'd like to call it. And I see that you are opposites in the best possible way, but you complement each other beautifully. So you may be more of the artistic type, whereas they are maybe a little bit more, I don't want to say rational, they're maybe a little bit more logical, more intellectual, and you are more creative and imaginative. I see here within the ocean that there's a lot of emotion that surrounds you during the month of January that feels very deep, and that also, in a sense, feels very unexplored. I see that this sensation that you're having in your love life, whether you're single, in a situationship, or you've been in a relationship for a long time, there are a lot of nooks and crannies and feelings that you didn't even know existed that are all of a sudden like popping up. Okay, if you've been in a long-term relationship, maybe you are developing these feelings of wanting a family. Maybe you're developing feelings of uncertainty or distrust about whether you want to continue in this relationship. If you are in a relationship that is more of a situationship, you may find that this person makes you feel like no other and you want to further explore. I mean, long story short, group number 3, the month of January is about the unseen. It's not really about what is happening right before your eyes. It's about what's happening behind closed doors here with the womb, if you know what I mean, but also what's happening in a emotional sense of just feeling, of just intuition, of just sensing things. Because it doesn't really matter what someone's resume says. What's more important is how they make you feel and what they deliver, okay? What's more important is truly their actions. Now, group 3, I feel like we've got a few more messages for your group for the month of January. So I will just clear out the space and be right back so we can figure out what those messages are, because I definitely don't want to let you go into January without us figuring out everything that you must know. So just hold tight and I'll be right back with you. Welcome back, group number 3. Did you miss me? So I want to get further into your January prediction using the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck, because this deck is everything. So I see within the Witch's Hat that in January you've got a lot more power than you are used to. I see within the Witch's Hat that you're the type of person who is really underrated. You don't like to be arrogant or pompous. You don't like to tell everyone all of the talents that you've got hidden. So under your witch's hat, so to say, there are so many unexpected things that you're good at, so many unexpected strengths. And I definitely see that in January, this is giving you a lot of power that other people just didn't even see coming. But I see here within the High Priestess that with a lot of power also, of course, comes a lot of responsibility. So because you've got this increase in responsibility and power, January may definitely be a little bit of a hectic month for you, group number 3. Not gonna lie, we just got to be very honest about that here, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Sometimes you've got to go through times of a lot of things going on, and then you'll have periods of rest again. But January is definitely a month of responsibility that you have personally. Oh, okay, we have some cards that popped right out of the pile that are clearly meaningful. So within Saturn, I see you're implementing a new structure. If you're working in a firm, in a company, you are the one who is restructuring things. You're making sure employees are there on time. You are also restructuring your own life, creating structure for working out, for passion projects. I see that here in the 5th house. And in order to ensure that you also have time for romance. Creativity is very important in January, being creative romantically as well, especially if you're in a long-term relationship. That can spice things up and also give you back some power, because your partner is going to find you more interesting and a lot more fun to be around when you try new things. And also, don't tell them this, because obviously this is not a super attractive thing to do, but try to note down in your calendar a minimum amount of times in January where you want to try something new. Either cook something new for a partner, try something new behind closed doors in the bedroom. You get the idea, group number 3. Just keep things spicy in a way how they seem to not know when it's coming. They just know that you're fun and interesting and that things are always kind of changing. Because I do see here within debilitated that when there is too much routine, things get kind of uncomfortable because things are boring. I see here within the trine sextile as well as the 4th house that it just kind of builds this routine that turns into tension, where everything is predictable. The home life is always the same, and that's one thing you want to avoid. Whether you're in a relationship or you're single, group number 3, it doesn't matter. The month of January is all about figuring out how to keep things fun and entertaining and different while still having a structure to it. So you may try something different when it comes to self-care every week, but the structure is that there has to be self-care every week. So you may try a different face mask every week. You may walk a different walking path, a different hiking path every week. But then again, the structure would be to walk or to hike. And then within that, you keep things interesting, you keep things fun and spicy and different. That's what I see is important for January, not just for you personally, but also for any relationships that are in your life that you would like to last. Next up, we've got Earth. So within Earth, I see a lot of grounding energy through that, because you know you can count on these structures, but at the same time, they'll be fun, they'll be different. So you have that perfect dose of fun, but also structure, group number 3. And that is where you thrive. You need a little bit of both, and you need to find a good balance for that. I see here within the altar that also if you've been procrastinating, learning, finishing a course, finishing an assignment or a task, dedicate yourself to doing it. One thing that I did today, group number 3, you're not going to believe it. I wrote down absolutely everything that I did, every waking moment of today. And some of the results were a little embarrassing. Okay, you start to realize maybe I was scrolling through the reels for a little longer than 5 minutes. Maybe I spent a little bit longer having breakfast than I really should have. Maybe I was on the phone for way longer than I actually knew. And wow, okay, spending like an hour on the phone, that's a whole hour that I could be doing a million different things. But the more you kind of dedicate yourself to also being real with you, figuring out where you spend a lot of your time, then you can also confront areas of your life that you have been procrastinating in, that you've been ignoring, where you haven't been putting as much energy towards as you really should have. And that can also create more time for passion projects, because when you realize that you've actually got a lot more time than you realize, you're just using it in a completely unhelpful manner for yourself, then you can change things. Then you've got the possibility of sweetness, group number 3, because when you're not real with yourself, you're not honest with yourself, or you just make excuses as to why you don't have a better structure, why you never have time for anything seemingly. That's when you're just in this cycle of repetition, of always doing the same thing and of never finding a solution. And before you know it, life has come and gone. So if you want to create abundance, whether that be financially, whether that be when it comes to time, when it comes to friends, love, you have to figure out exactly where you're spending your time, how much time you're spending on things that aren't going towards your goals, and then be dedicated to spending more of your time just focused on your goals rather on things that don't really matter or are not going to really get you to where you're dreaming of going. Group number 3, it is your responsibility at the end of the day, no matter how we turn the situation. You're the only one who can turn things around for yourself, especially if you're not happy with where you are. I see within communication, co-creation, that an important aspect of January is to also ask for what you want and what you need. If you're seeing someone and you're kind of a little bit shy to ask for an abundance of affection or attention, they may not be the right one for you, but maybe you just also need to learn to be less shy and to vocalize your needs and your wants. It could be both, but you have to try, right? You can't just say this person isn't for me. You have to kind of see how they react, and maybe they feel the same way and they were very shy to talk to you about it. I see here within luminescence that when it comes to sharing how you feel deep within during the month of January, when it comes to your heart space, that can open up a lot more. You've been holding back, and maybe you grew up in a household where it was not safe to be vulnerable or to say you wanted more love. Maybe you were made fun of for wanting attention or love, or maybe you were called selfish. Maybe you were shamed into thinking it's too much. And that's where I see here that getting older, being an adult or in your late teens, I know some of you are in your late teens, most of you are adults though, it is important to kind of parent ourselves, reteach ourselves that, hey, wanting love, wanting a relationship that is built on reciprocity, where you get the attention that you need, where your needs are met, that is nothing to feel ashamed of. That is nothing selfish whatsoever. That is how relationships are built that are meaningful and that can last for a long time. I also want you to know that looking at some numbers here, especially with these astro cards, we've got 43, 42, 14, 24, 52. So we've got the number 4 in 4 out of 5 of these cards. 4 cards, the number 4. So the number 4 is important. If you continuously see the number 44, 444 during the month of January, know that this is a symbol specifically for you, group number 3. Feel free to write it in your itinerary, to write it down in your notes that the number 444 is important during the month of January for you and is definitely leading you towards balance and towards creating some healthy structures that work for you and that just overall make January so much simpler and so much more enjoyable. Now, group 3, this is the reading that I received for you, and I really hope that you found it insightful and that you enjoyed it. Leave a little Saturn emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you enjoyed your reading, and you watched it all the way to the end. Furthermore, don't forget to check out my tarot masterclass and all of my beautiful tarot and oracle decks that I created, my crystals. It's all linked in the description box. I like to thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your January predictions. You chose the Aqua Aura point as well as the Mystic Mondays tarot deck. So let's first look at the Aqua Aura crystal point. So this is a beautiful Aqua Aura quartz. You can find it on my website, bolife.com. This is an electroplated quartz point. It is very hard to get your hands on high quality points like these in this kind of, as you can see here, like rainbow glisten, depending on how the light hits it. And honestly, my studio lighting doesn't even do this crystal justice. This is an excellent choice, group number 4. So if you feel especially connected to this crystal and need one of these in your life, or you feel like you have a friend who would absolutely love this crystal, link is in the description box. Don't say I didn't tell you. I know these crystals always sell out so quickly as soon as I post a video. So I warned you, if you want one of these points, go for it now. Don't wait. So let's move into your January readings, shall we? We've got the 9 of Swords, we've got the Lovers, as well as the 6 of Pentacles. So this is a very interesting combination for the month of January. Let me tell you why. The 9 of Swords shows a lot of overthinking and some restless nights, whereas the Lovers is all about, well, love, right? Being infatuated with another person. So I definitely see that there's overthinking when it comes to love. But here within the 6 of Pentacles, at the end of the day, you know that this is a good situation, romantically speaking. So if you're seeing someone, yes, you are overthinking, but you know they're a good guy, a good girl, you know this situation doesn't need to go left, but you're always still a little bit suspicious. You're always still a little bit cautious when it comes to your heart, which is fair, group number 4. Given the current economic situation when it comes to the product of love on planet Earth, it only makes sense that you would be protective over this limited resource that is your love and your heart. So I do want you to know here within the 9 of Swords that it makes sense that you're overthinking, that you're thinking about future plans, you're asking yourself whether you and this person really have a long-term chance to be together, especially when it comes to important topics such as children, religion, where you want to live, travels, finances. All of these things are things that concern you and keep you up at night. But at the same time, group number 4, don't forget to enjoy your love life, because it's looking really great for January. It's looking like there's this infatuation, there's fun, there's maybe even some naughty things happening behind closed doors. And the 6 of Pentacles shows me here that whoever you're snuggling up with, they definitely see a future with you, and they feel like you bring balance to their entire existence. The High Priestess shows me that you are extremely intuitive and intelligent compared to their exes. This person who you're seeing in January, they can't even compare you to anyone who they've dated in the past, because you're just on a whole different level to them. And I do also see here that they really, really value your opinion, and they actually value your opinion far more than they even value their own family's opinion. So do know here that you hold a lot of power, romantically speaking, in January. And in case you did not know this, this person that we've got here has some very strong Sagittarius placements. So if you're single and you're wondering who this person will be, know that their Sagittarius placements are extremely strong and influential. And then we've also got the Plutoid here. Okay, so the Plutoid is all about finances, rebirths, shared resources. So that is where I can see that you got someone spoiling you in January, someone not being afraid to start on a fresh page with you. Even if they've been traumatized by exes in the past, they know that you're different, and they're not going to let that affect how they treat you moving forward, group number 4. However, let's delve a little more deeply into your January prediction. So next up, we've got the Village. Now, the Village shows me that those around you, your community, your zip code, there's something going on here in January that needs to be discussed within the village. Maybe you quite literally live in a village like I do here in Switzerland. I see here within the Judge that something is happening within your immediate surrounding that the world is kind of judging. So it could be, for example, a charitable cause, but it could also be that there's some sort of natural disaster or a very special thing happening in nature that other people are looking at, and they can judge that in a good or in a bad way. Don't feel like this has to be a bad thing, group number 4. But I do want you to know here within the Village and the Judge that if you live in a little village or in a small town and you constantly feel judged, you feel like the outcast, maybe you even grew up that way, it is completely fine for you to not want to stay there, to want to move away, and to always feel like you don't belong until you're actually in a bigger city and you're like, wow, nobody is looking at me weirdly. Everyone is minding their own business. This is what I needed. So know that there is always hope for you to be in a space and situation where rather than feeling judged, you feel loved. You feel like, okay, I belong here. But I see here within the storm that group 4, you are meant to go through some times of being shaken up and also of just being the person who needs to weather the storm, and you will always be the last one standing. You've gone through a lot of storms in your life. January will have a stormy situation mentally where you're overthinking about love and your future. But do know here that you have been through worse storms in the past. You have been through more challenging situations. January is really not that big of a deal, as I see here within the offering, that actually why you're going through a lot is because you will have someone offering you an extended amount of commitment. So that could be your job wanting to employ you for longer or for a better position, or this romantic situation where you're being offered to move in with this person to make the relationship official. Maybe you're actually being offered something like a ring, group number 4, some sort of solidification of your status and your standpoint with another human being. So January has all of the good qualities of overthinking, and January is definitely going to be a month to remember when you think of the year 2023. Next up, within sweetness for you, it's very clear that this is a good month. This is a month where you will think back and you will think fondly of the month of January. But I also see here in the High Priestess that a lot of the very quiet, calm parts of you that you show the world that may seem like shyness, a lot of people interpret as sweetness. A lot of people really like and they find it attractive. I see that the psychic side, the sensual side of you, group number 4, is what a lot of people want to see more of, and that romantic lovers really think is one of the most attractive traits. Furthermore, we've also got consciousness. So another one of these super attractive traits that you possess is that it seems like you're very connected and like you're always fully present. You're not just floating around, emotionally speaking. You're very sharp. While you may not always talk a lot, you may not always say all that much, especially when you don't really know someone, people always feel like you've got this presence, this higher consciousness going as well, where you're more deeply connected to the universe and the spiritual realm than you let on, because you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to say that you're this super conscious being or anything like that. You just connect, you just vibe with who you vibe with, you just connect with the universe effortlessly, and that is your personal thing. Now, if you understand group number 4, leave a little crystal ball emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you get it, and also that you're within group number 4 and you've already watched until this point. But I want to now add some runes into your prediction. Let's see what we intuitively receive. Okay, we've got a rune that popped right out of this dish. So I want to zoom in for you so you can truly see this. This is Pertho, group number 4. This rune represents magic, the divine feminine, also mystery. So I see here that during the month of January, your divine feminine is driving people wild. You seem to come off as very mysterious. And for you, of course, you don't feel like you're a big mystery. You may feel like you're an open book, but I definitely see here that a lot of people are drawn to the divine feminine side of you. And it doesn't matter who you identify as, group number 4. You guys know everyone's welcome on my channel and everyone should and will be represented here. But the divine feminine energies that we all possess, those are going to be brought out especially strongly during the month of January for you, group number 4, and that is what a lot of people with polarizing masculine energy are going to be very, very drawn towards. You have, okay, we were just talking about polarizing masculine energy, and then we've got the King of Wands, which is like double masculine, because for one, we've got the suit of wands, which corresponds to the element of fire and is a phallic symbol, which means a masculine symbol. And then we also have the king, right? The king aspect is, again, masculine energy. It's energy that's authoritative, that's, yeah, very creative and inspiring and forceful and charismatic, bold, but it has this kind of like daddy vibe, this very, very masculine kind of, how should I say, this divine masculine aspect where you just can't deny that you are the perfect counterpart to this person during the month of January. And if you're single, know here that this King of Wands person is most likely going to be flirting with you. They're going to show a lot of interest, and boy, oh boy, you may actually get yourself in a little bit of an interesting situation here with the King of Wands. We did talk about the Sagittarius here within the Lovers, which is a fire sign. The King of Wands corresponds to the element of fire. Group number 4, it goes without say that we've got the Sagittarius represented here. They're obviously a snack, they're obviously very attractive, and they are 100% into you. And I see here within the 8 of Wands that they want to move things forward very quickly. Now, they may also want to get physical really quickly, which is where you want to spend enough time really feeling safe and secure, and like you're doing this because you want to, not just because they're very attractive, group number 4. So make sure that you really take time to think, and also let them chase a little bit. The King of Wands likes to chase. The King of Wands doesn't value things that come too easily. The King of Wands likes to have a challenge, also romantically speaking. They like to have to wow you. They like to have to spend some time impressing you. When things come very easily, it kind of makes them a little nervous in the future, because they think if they were able to impress you so easily, maybe other people will be able to take you away from them very easily or quickly. I see here within the moon that your intuition is divinely guiding you during the month of January, group 4, to exactly where you need to be romantically speaking, and to accept the invites that make sense. So the King of Wands may invite you to their home, and you may intuitively know that it's not the right time, so that is when you would respectfully decline. But if you've been seeing them for a while and it feels right, you may also say to yourself, no, this actually is the right time. This actually is a good situation, and I want to explore what might happen with the King of Wands. Next up here within the 8 of Cups, I do also see that when it comes to friends and family, when it comes to people surrounding the King of Wands, some people are not going to like that they are involved with you. Some people are jealous, and some people will want to walk away from the King of Wands. That could be an ex-girlfriend, that could just be an ex-partner. I do see in the 8 of Cups that once they see that you are with the King of Wands, they will know that it is over now for real, and they can't slither their way back in, and they have lost them for good. That is definitely one thing that I can see here within the 8 of Cups and this walking away situation. Now, group number 4, I feel intuitively like this is not a closed chapter. We're not done here for the month of January. So I will clear and cleanse the space, and I'll be right back with you so we can delve further into your January prediction and uncover the remaining messages that your guides have about the upcoming month. So just hold tight, and I'll be right back with you. Welcome back, group number 4. Let's delve even more deeply into your January prediction. I hope you didn't miss me too much. I'm using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. I really, really love this deck. I just have to put this out there. If you're looking for a gorgeous oracle deck, this is definitely one that I would recommend. So first up, we've got freedom. The month of January brings you freedom, group number 4, in the sense of feeling like you're not shackled to anything. So freedom financially, but also freedom to be with who you want to be in love. Okay, no more people pleasing in January, and no more feeling as though you're tied down to anything or anyone. I see here here within Earth and nurturing nature that what brings you a lot of freedom is being able to spend time in nature again. So if you've been struggling with your health and it's been hard for you to, for example, go on hikes or do outdoor activities, in January you'll get right back at it. And I also see here within freedom and the Earth that the more you just freely connect with Mother Earth, the more that heals you from the inside out as well. So definitely know here that being connected very closely to planet Earth is what brings you freedom. The more you feel as though you can seek refuge within the nature, the more you will find that nothing scares you, because you always know you've got a backup plan. You've got a plan B. You've got somewhere to run to. Next up, we've got the violet flame. The violet flame is a representation of some very heated moments that are happening, spiritually speaking, where you're connecting with someone on a whole different level, but maybe also connecting with yourself in a way that you haven't experienced before. So going to a different dimension, it feels like, through meditation, and maybe also experiencing different sensations with another person when you're being physical, when you've got sensual interactions that you've never experienced before, and you're fully enjoying that, you're leaning into that, and it's like this high that you never want to come down from again during the month of January. And if in the past you were with someone and you were attracted to them physically, sensually, whatever, this person that you're spending time with in January, they're going to blow your mind. And if, okay, we've got the lovers too. I'm going to get into that in just a second. And if you have been in a relationship, a committed relationship, which is continuing through to January, and know that the love is going to be renewed. The attraction is going to be there again. Things are going to be spicy and interesting. You may actually try some new toys, if you will, some new arrangements, some new ways of showing each other love. And I do want you to know that this is going to just make everything so much more interesting and fun. And you're going to be able to fully enjoy your body and this entire experience that you didn't even know existed, that you didn't even know you needed. Here within the Two of Swords, group 4, I can see that some decisions need to be made and you can't wait to receive news until you make that decision. And by not being able to wait till you receive news, I mean, for example, I wasn't sure if I wanted to move countries this year, next year, maybe in 2 years. So eventually I will just have to make that choice for myself. I will not be able to wait until everything has fallen into place, because nothing is ever perfect. Sometimes you just have to take the leap, make a decision, and just go with it. Hope for the best. Make sure it turns out well. I see here within the Five of Wands that the month of January is definitely challenging you in some ways, where you just want to throw in the towel because you don't like having to take risks that are not properly calculated. That's one thing that I can see here in the Two of Swords and the Five of Wands. And that's completely fine, group number 4. But definitely know here that you're not going to have that many choices when it comes to having to make some real hard decisions. Now, the Hanged Man shows me that changing your perspective can be really helpful. So whether we look at the Hanged Man like this or from this perspective, it's a completely different image, right? Depending on how we look at it. So that's what the Hanged Man stands for in the tarot. It's all about perspective and how the same image or the same thing can look completely different depending on where you're looking at it from, where you're standing and seeing it from. That's what I see here that is an important message for you within the Hanged Man for the month of January, group number 4. So remind yourself, perspective is everything. The way you view yourself, the world, and others is important. The way you view opportunities can change them as a whole, as an entirety. And I also see here within Kairos that it's so important for you to always keep before you your goals. Not to say you should be selfish, group number 4, but you have to focus on yourself sometimes and put yourself first. And it doesn't matter whether you're married, whether you're a parent, whether you're a teacher or a doctor, whether you work in healthcare. You have to remind yourself that in order to be of the utmost service, whether as a legal guardian of someone and taking care of them, or as a healthcare practitioner who has a lot of patients to look out for, if you are not in good shape, how will you be able to do that job? How will you be able to do the best that you possibly can? And in order to be in good shape, you need some maintenance days as well. You need some time to yourself too. And that's where I see here within the mountain that there's a lot to talk about, group 4. There's a lot to overcome. I see that there are some very built up, pent up emotions when it comes to this self-care and quote unquote this selfish topic, because maybe you grew up with a single parent who was looked at as selfish by a parent that was once there because they had to take care of themselves or they decided to leave. Maybe in your household growing up, it was just not a common thing for your parents to ever even have time for self-care or think of it. Maybe it's a very like 21st century, age of Aquarius, new age-y type of thing that was just a taboo or not really spoken about or even considered growing up. Maybe it's still something that a lot of people in your society, your community, or in your ethnic background just don't really understand the importance of mental health and talking about it and focusing on it, and also being able to tell other people, look, this is my boundary for my own mental health, and I need some time to replenish. I need some time to rejuvenate and to take care of myself internally. And here within the mountain and Kairos, I see that there's still a lot to overcome when it comes to these topics and a lot of improvement to be made. But within the bridge, I do see that there are a lot of people who are willing to bridge that gap, who are willing to learn and to listen and to understand and to grow. And the bridge is often symbolic as well of two people coming back together. So the Five of Wands shows a little dispute that gets amended here in the bridge again during the month of January. So anyone who you have an argument or a dispute with, it could be a family member, a coworker, or a friend, you will come back together with them. Actually, let me just tell you who they are, okay? Okay, so these are the letters that we've got. We've got E as well as N for their initials and their names. So it is just going to be like a little thing, but nevertheless, you know what's coming towards you here during the month of January. So you don't need to wonder about that situation. We have some cards that flip themselves over. So we've got the unseen as well as Aletheia. So within the unseen, there is a lot that's happening behind the scenes that is the complete opposite of what you expected it to be. That is what I can see here. So be very careful with people at your work who seem unusually nice. Okay, be very careful with anyone whose vibe has just completely somehow changed and shifted. Okay, there is something going on that they do not want to show. Another thing within the unseen as well as Aletheia is that maybe in the country where you're living, there is a lot going on politically that is just in the unseen that nobody is talking about, but it will come to light in January. That's what I see here within Kairos. A lot of the issues or a lot of the things that are going on behind closed doors will become visible. A lot of the unseen will be unveiled, and then it will be clear, okay, we've got a little mountain here to work on. Not sure a mountain can ever be little, but you know what I'm trying to say. Group 4, so next up we've got the Lovers again. You're really just being followed by the Lovers card, aren't you? So love is amazing in January for you, Group 4. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to say it. Enjoy it. Enjoy this time of infatuation, of passion, of reciprocity and love. Okay, you're being loved back heavily, group number 4. There is someone who's not only crushing on you, but you are like everything to them. You are the light of their life. You are their water, their oxygen. They can't be without you. They are completely obsessed with you, group number 4. There's no other way to put it. And they just want to be around you all the time, kissing you, hugging you, being with you, just doing everything they can. Next up, we've got the Hanged Man again. So for these cards to show up from 2 different tarot decks, these identical cards, we already had the Hanged Man here within the Pastel Journey deck, the Lovers within the Pastel Journey deck. Now we've got it within the Mystic Mondays deck. Yeah, the Hanged Man. It's about perspective in January. Remind yourself of this. These are the important messages that your guides want to reiterate, and truly make sure that these hit home for you, group number 4. So don't ignore the Hanged Man and the Lovers. In case you haven't noticed, the Lovers corresponds to the number 6, whereas the Hanged Man corresponds to the number 12. So right down the middle, right? If we divide the number 12 by 2, then we receive 6. So 6 is a number of victory, of family, of romantic relationships, and just great connections overall. And I definitely want you to know here within the Hanged Man that your connections are as good as you allow them to be, and as good as you look at them as. So if someone is into you, someone is loving you, treating you amazingly well, don't look for their faults. I see here within the Magician that you have all the power that you could ever want in the romantic relationship that you are entertaining during the month of January. And with a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility, but you're meant to be in this position because your guides know that you're a big girl, you're a big boy, you're a big unicorn. You know how to deal with this responsibility, and you're never going to use the power in an unethical way. I see within the Three of Wands that actually what you're doing is you're planning on building with the person that you're seeing, romantically speaking, who's being drawn into your life, because there is definitely someone who will be in your life in January. Unless they're, of course, already in your life, then you're just making more plans for 2023 on how you can build together, maybe a family, a business. You get the idea, group number 4. So the Three of Wands is indicative of taking steps forwards, planning for the future, and also, of course, not doing things by yourself, but being able to count on a partner, a romantic one that is there for you in the bedroom and outside of the bedroom. Now, group 4, this is the reading that I received for you for the month of January. I really hope that you enjoyed this and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little flame emoji below in the comment section, as your love life is going to be on fire. That way you can claim, manifest, and let me and others know that you watched all the way to the end of group 4. As mentioned at the start of your readings, you can find these beautiful Aqua Aura crystal points on my website that is linked below, as well as my crystal rings, my tarot and oracle decks, and my How to Become a Great Tarot Reader masterclass. So make sure you check that out. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming predictions.